only.
Hello, it's George here. Welcome to another video, and yeah, I'm in my truck. You could tell already what this is gonna go. Most recently, I've done a lot of work on getting the engine to run just right, and for the most part it does, but when I start it up cold, it has no idle. Like, I have to pump the gas pedal and then it starts right up, no problem, and I can keep it going by stepping on the gas pedal. Now, that means that probably it's not getting enough air in there on its own to keep running, and that's the problem I'm trying to solve now. Once the truck warms up, the idle is perfectly fine. However, it is a little bit on the low side. That meaning it's only about 600 and something, when I think 700 or 800 is more normal. So I've done some research on what I should be looking for. And one of the things that came up is this idle air control valve. I touched that when I was rebuilding the throttle body, meaning that I cleaned up the old one. I cleaned it up as good as I thought would be necessary, and then I put it back in. There seemed to be no problem with the idle then, or with it starting up without stepping on the gas pedal. Since then, I have installed the air cleaner box, the original one, because I gotta tell you, this truck, when I first got it, there were two non-functional fuel systems in there. One is the regular one, with the gas tank, a fuel pump, a gas filter, all this, you know, the same shebang. Fuel injectors, throttle body, yes, this was all there. All needed to be overhauled to even get the truck started. And then there was a propane system in there. It's got a weird box wired into it, but I think you bypass that when you switch in the dash from gas to propane, or the other way around, from propane to gas. The truck's supposed to run on gas just the same as on propane. But I decided I'm gonna make it run on gas only for now, because I don't have the means to rebuild that propane system. I don't know how efficient or how economical that would actually be. I won't rule it out for the future, but for now I got other things to worry about. Gasoline is expensive, but I am not planning on driving this truck that much. So yeah, now to get this running properly. Now, this idle air control valve is like a kind of obvious thing to check, and since mine is probably 35 years old, I'm gonna try out a brand new one. In the back of my head, I don't know if that's gonna solve the problem, so we're gonna find that out today. And then once this is replaced, I'm gonna tell you whether I'm happy with it or what else there's to do on it in order to find that issue. Okay, the first thing that I do when working on anything that has to do with the electronics, I just undo the battery negative terminal. The negative because it's the ground terminal, so then the entire truck is disconnected from power. Nothing can get activated or destroyed. There, this is good enough. Next thing, well, this beautiful air cleaner assembly that I don't know how many times I already took that off and put it back on, but we need to take it off in order to have access. Easy to do. This is a plastic, like a boot here. This is where I undo it. The whole thing comes right off. Ta-da! So this idle air control valve is that one there where my finger's tapping. Probably have to unplug the throttle position sensor so it's out of my way. And then down below there's the EGR valve, which might also be suspect for this problem. Okay, this green clip, yeah, I'll take it off. Yeah, that's enough, I think. Now I can take the connector itself off. I'm not sure if you can see that from that angle. All right, now I need a big pair of something, you know, probably a big wrench here. Yeah, I'll probably just use the pliers. Yeah, this should come off real easy because I had it off when I rebuilt the throttle body. There, that's all it takes. Yeah, I can take it out by hand, no problem. See this? Yeah, let's compare to the brand new one. Okay, these are identical parts. I don't know how many years apart because I have no idea how old this one actually is. But see the position it's in right now. Maybe it got stuck. See, it's extended all the way. And to me, that means that it would be restricting the airflow. This one straight out of the box. Now, I don't know if there's any meaning to this, but the plunger is this way. It's in. Guys, maybe what I'm thinking is totally off or misguided. But, I mean, if this thing is totally closed, then the only air I'm going to get is through the throttle. Now, is this because it's stuck? Yeah, maybe that's the problem right there, but I don't know. Maybe there's something telling it to go in this position, you know, and this could be a temperature sensor for all I know. We'll see. Yeah, I'm not really going to go through cleaning in there because I know that I cleaned it before I ever put this back in the truck. So we're just going to put this on, plug everything back in, even put the air cleaner back on because I want to recreate the exact condition that we have when this is cold starting. You know, I don't want to have a surprise that I think everything's good now, and then all of a sudden when I put everything back the way it was, then something else goes haywire and I don't have idle again. That's good enough there. So now let's find the plug wherever it went. Jeez. Plug everything back in and hopefully the truck will run happily ever after. And make sure this clip engages. There you go. This is the throttle position sensor right there. Click. And this is, I don't know what that sensor is called. Gotta plug this vacuum in too for sure. And it comes out a bit easy for my taste. But yeah, basically that's the job already done now. Put the air cleaner back on, then reconnect the battery and try to start her. All done except put this back. I love the simplicity of that, even though maybe it's not the most stable, this big housing on one threaded rod. And finally, the negative battery cable is back on, is connected. So this is it, guys. I'm going to try to start the truck now without touching the gas pedal. First I'm going to just turn it on to the on position without starting it. Just in case it has to do anything. Maybe I should not have the fan on right now. And now we're going to see what happens. That is very different. The truck has a fast idle now. And I think that's exactly what this needs to be, because it hasn't been running and it's cold. I don't have the RPMs because this doesn't have a gauge for it, but let's kick the gas pedal and see what happens. Well, the idle is very, very high right now, but it's coming back down. Yeah, it's crazy high now, but I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes and see what happens. So I'm pretty sure the engine had a chance to warm up, but the idle didn't go down. Yeah, while it has made a difference, it hasn't really solved my problem. Let's see what happens when I restart it. Still high. Nice low of 1,000. See what it does under load. Guys, I can't leave this driveway. There's a cop car down the back alley. Probably not for me, but it's for something. Now this idle sounds a lot better, but it's still a little on the high side. I'll hook the gauge back up. Well, let's see what it is now. Yeah, I see it going back and forth between 840 and 860. Seems to be fluctuating a bit, but I think this problem has been solved. It's going to settle itself in once that truck's on the road, because the ECM, every time you unplug the battery, it has to relearn how to run the engine. And I think just with it warming up now, it's already went down from 1300 to 800. So I'm thinking this probably solved my problem. I don't want to celebrate at this point yet, because there might be another surprise down the road, but it looks good. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this quick video, because it was driving me nuts. I couldn't start the truck without hitting the gas pedal, and then I had to pump it until the truck warmed up a bit, and it would be idling at about 650 or something like that. We'll see what it comes out like a week from now, when I actually drive this on the road, when I got a plate or a temporary plate or insurance or whatever